In this SPX options day trading example, I'll show you how I made $360 in 1 hour and 15 minutes using the SPX Weekly Options Blueprint, and we're starting right now. So I want to start with the daily chart for Monday the 13th, and this is the full candle here, but I wanted to just kind of show that on Monday the 13th we were experiencing a large gap down on the back of a couple other big moves from Friday and Thursday of the week before. So we had been consolidating in this range. It kind of looked like it was going to be a bull flag breakout, maybe to the upside. That's what I was thinking. But once the Fed came out and changed their policy to be more aggressive, we saw this selling. So what we were waking up to this Monday was about a 60, 70 point gap down on the SPX. So before the day even starts, I need to kind of keep that in mind, that volatility is expanding. We are pushing lower. This is an extension of the previous day selling. Now, before Monday started, I was looking at the weekly options blueprint. This is something that I send out to Patreon members. If you guys want to check this out, this is very helpful in the trading. And what I'm looking at here is basically that Monday for the previous look back period is actually relatively quiet, where we're the first 30 minutes of the day is very small movement, and then we start to get a little bit of movement. Ultimately, it's kind of range bound with sort of a bearish slant in the afternoon. Well, I know right away that with a 60, this big gap down, that this morning session is probably going to look a little bit different, right? I'm not going to kid myself and thinking that we're experiencing this big gap down and a breakout to the downside, and that we're going to have a nice quiet 5-point range after we open, right? So the first thing is to kind of take this into context, and the context right now is we are breaking out to the downside. So I am going in with a bearish sort of mindset, but I want to let the morning session play out. And if we let the morning session play out, what I can look for when I zoom in on this time frames is around noon, I can look for some potential bearish action with maybe a rally back up to where I can reshort or add to my short around 2. So noon, give or take 15 minutes or so, and around 2 is kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at bear call spreads, and I want to see what the levels could be for potential trade setup. So here is the 5-minute chart for that Monday. It's not the complete chart because I took the screenshot before, but it does encapsulate the full trade. So we can see that, first of all, there's no candles over here. That's because it's a huge gap down on a 5-minute chart. We were above, I think, 3,900 or something at that point. But anyway, we got this huge move lower. And so again, I'm waiting this out, and I'm looking around the 12 o'clock hour. So around 12 o'clock, the market has retraced some of this movement. So what I'm thinking now is either A, this thing's going to roll over and die again. This is just a retracement, or it could come right back up to the gap window, which is near the opening. So the way I want to sort of position this is, I only want to risk $1,000 because the volatility is higher. I do want to, basically we're trying to scalp here, and I don't want to just put it all in on one point in time in the chart. So at a little bit after 12, when I'm looking at this potential entry spot based on the timing and the retracement, the spread was going for $1.35, and I was looking to sell the 38.15, 38.20. That's right above the gap window. So I got a choice here. How many contracts should I trade? Well, with a 5-wide spread, if I'm looking to make $1.35 on this spread, I'm risking 365. So I'm already eating up 30-40% of my risk that I want to deal with, right? So I'm only going to take one trade. Had I entered in 2 trades here, 2 contracts, I'd be close to my $1,000. I actually could even get 3 spreads. So I don't want to go full entry here, and I wanted to wait and see if we kind of moved up, because let me tell you, when you're selling something for 135 and then it moves up here, you're down pretty quick. Well, it actually moved up, and as it got to my gap window area, I sold a second one for $2.25 and ended up selling a third one for $1.90. Now, why does the spread total over here say $1.83? Well, let me bring up the calculator and let's just do some quick sort of credit spread math. So first of all, when you have a credit, let's add up the credits. $1.35 plus $2.25, $2.28 plus $1.90 you end up with $5.50 in credit. So when I divide that by 3, you ultimately end up with an average credit of $1.83. And again, less commissions, right? So what am I risking now? Well, let's just call it 185 for sake of round numbers. If we're selling a 5-wide spread, we're going to subtract the credit, which was $1.85, $1.83, and we're going to be risking $3.15 per spread. So this is sort of an averaging in or averaging down, whatever you want to call it, for the credit spread. If you multiply that by 3, our risk is about $9.50 or $9.45, right? So I'm within my risk allotment, and I've got a good amount of credit. I got a total of over $500 in credit, and now it's just a matter of time, right? Time decay, because I'm an option seller of 0 DTE. And once we got to that gap window, we actually rolled over, and I was able to buy the spread back for 60 cents. So again, I sold something for an average of $1.83, and I bought it back for 60 cents. Let's bring up the calculator again. So if we do $1.83 minus 0.60, we end up at $1.23 or so times 3, you end up with $369. Again, the pennies may adjust a little bit, but that's how I was able to risk about $9.50 to make about $3.60, really over the course of an hour and a half, right, or an hour and 15 minutes. Here's a quick look at the credits, and this is from Tastyworks. One trade, 135, 225, 190, and I did a full exit at 133. So we started at 12:15, 133 is about an hour and 15 minutes. So I want to talk a little bit about the blueprint and the exit. So again, I exited around 133. That is right kind of in this candle. This is the 130 candle, and I exited inside of that. So again, it was 133. So why did I choose that spot? Well, for one, I was able to book over half the profit. I don't know exactly what it was. Let's call it 60% or so of the max profit. So A, take your money and run, right? But I also want to go back to the blueprint, where what the blueprint was telling me was that around 130 or so, which is right. Sorry about the movement. 130. So we actually should be getting a positive movement before rolling back over, right? So if I'm already in for over half the profit, we actually started to get that movement after I exited. And the thing is even though you're getting this movement, we don't know what the magnitude is. And since this was kind of a highly volatile day, this could have gone all the way back up. It could have gone, it could have gone all the way through, and maybe we, get a face ripper off the lows or whatever. But the market actually rallied back up, and it actually did what the blueprint said it was going to do. The blueprint said we'd see a rally in the afternoon and sort of this rollover into the close, and that's exactly what we got. We got a 130 in the afternoon sort of push. We peaked around 2 and kind of rolled over. And the last part of the day, I actually don't have it on here, but the last part of the day, we got a little bit of choppy action, which we started to see here. And this was almost this was in the 3 o'clock hour. So again, I'm just trying to synthesize it and put it all together for you that, when you're experiencing a large volatility, sometimes it's best to wait and let the market play out. We have the blueprint on our side, as well as risk management. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video.